It has become very quiet out here. I've been down the road looking to check on some of my neighbors to see how they're doing. We are, I think, the 4th day into the power outage here, and it's Wednesday, and they're now saying we won't have power back until Friday night at the earliest. Now, a lot of people have packed up and gone away. So there is no more sound of generators running. Nobody out on the road here. It's just dead quiet. And that includes my generator, which I just shut down to change the oil in. So that's all done. We're going to get it started up again and get power back on. So the dome is not in perfect condition, but it is up. The tree is not sticking through into it anymore. And it's basically repaired. So I had some leftover tubes from one of these structures that was years ago, and I didn't want to throw away the steel, so I kept it. So I managed to splice together a couple of these things to the right length to replace the 2 damaged ones. And I've just kind of temporarily taped up the 2 rips in the cover, and that works. You know, this red tape that they use for putting house wrap on is amazing stuff. It sticks through just about anything and any weather and that kind of thing, so it's in pretty good shape. Well, we're day 5 without power now, so that's been lots of fun. But in between, I've still been making progress on things. Show you where we are on the log bunk. So we got 3 logs left. The bottom 2 are real nice. I should be able to get some more 2x4s and 2x6s, but the top one with all the knots and stuff in it, that's probably just another one for planks, the board and batten stuff. So that's fine. But what I think we're gonna do is jump on the ATV and head back into the trails. I came across a very large pine tree that was down, and as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to try and go around the back way to get to it to make it a little easier to cut up. And I'm hoping there's not too much more damage because I haven't been through the trails in this direction yet. But we'll see. So we'll get equipment loaded up. I've got my big chainsaw with me today, because who knows what we'll run into. So let's get saddled up and head out. Well, that's about as far as we can go right now. So I'll get set up and get this one cleaned up and out of the way, and then we'll continue moving on. I think this is going to be an all-day job, or maybe an all couple of days job to get all this stuff cleaned up. It's hot work back here. So that's got that kind of at least partially cut up. It's a nice maple, so a lot of this stuff I'm going to stack and probably take it back later on for firewood, but for now I'm just going to let it stack and dry out here. So I'll get the remnants of this out of the way, and then there's another small one you might be able to see farther up that's part way down that all clear, and then we'll move on from there and see what other lovely surprises wait for us. Well, I guess not really surprises, but we'll see what waits for us farther up the trail here once I get this part cleaned up enough where I can get the ATV through. So there's the tree that this came out of, and you can see how rotten it was here at the crotch, and it's going to split again. This is, oh, another 40 feet or so, maybe 50 feet up to the top of this. So it'll be another challenge to clean up later on, but we'll let nature take its course here. Well, there's another one, a big spruce that's down, and it's hanging partly over another one of the paths, so I may come down and cut this out too. These are good trees for structural wood, like 2x4s and 2x6s and that kind of thing. So I'll probably come back and cut it up and try to get it out of the trees, so at least it's not a hazard. That'll be fun to do. All right, let's get up the hill. Now there's an accident waiting to happen. These things can be so tricky to take care of. You don't know which way the darn thing's going to go. And that the end of this branch is just pushed up against the trunk. And it looks like it's supported in kind of a cross between two other branches that came down before it. So we'll see if we can get it all the way down to the ground, and then I'll just cut it up into some pieces and get it out of the path for the time being so we can continue on to the pine tree. Let's see how it goes. Well, I'll get this piled up and moved aside, then we can get through. But the problem I'm now having is I've had to do so much cutting, mostly of hardwood, the chain's starting to get a bit dull. So we'll continue trying to work our way through to the pine, but when I get there, I'm just going to have to turn around and go back just to sharpen the chainsaw so we can get going at it again. Okay, we're cleaned up enough where we can get through it. Show you the top of this one. It's pretty much gonna bust again in the not very distant future. There's not a lot holding it on there, but at least this time I don't think it's gonna come down on the trail. Although it'll be close. All right, let's get running and see if we can get to the pine this time. Well, there it is. Let's take a look. Boy, the mosquitoes are thick back here. We'll get in and have a look at what's happened. Yeah, this is a real mess. This is a shame. This tree, there's the bottom part of it here, this great big pine that goes up. It still goes up about 20 feet to where it snapped off. And it's big. I don't think there's much I can do to get it out of here. Now, this one, this tall one, is the one that I'm planning to take down to use. It's really big, and it's gonna make for some really nice lumber. But it's got a funny lean to it. It'll be a little tricky to take it down, drop it where I want it. But in order to work on it, I've got to clean this mess up. There's what's left of an old pine that nobody did anything with. Well, maybe somebody tried at one point. This is going to be a challenge to clean up. But at least I can see where things are now. And I can start cutting this stuff up and bringing it down here and piling it. It has stripped a lot of the branches there off the tree that I want. That's funny. Look at that. Look how tall that is. And so few branches on it going up. That's going to be really nice. And it's not too big of a diameter to handle on my mill. This one that broke, it's too big for my mill anyway. So I think my main goal here is going to be to clean it up, get it off the trail, make things passable, and make myself room to take that tree down when I'm ready for it. And at some point, I've got to take this other dead one down. Now, when this tree came down, it did clip that a little bit with a couple of branches and took another 6 feet or so off the top of the dead one. Can't believe it's still standing. All right, let's get cleaned up and have a little closer look at this, and I'll try to figure out what I'm going to do here. Well, the clouds are coming in. We got rain on the way. I'll pull a few more of these branches out that I've cut. At least I'm getting fairly close to the point where I can assess what I've got. If I've got anything here that I can cut into decent 8-foot lengths and pull out. Well, that's getting better. I might get a couple of pieces out of this. But I'll be real picky about where I cut it. You got to be so careful with logs like this that are on a hill. You know, there's something that's stopping that from rolling. I know what it is, but you've really got to watch for that. You cut in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that sucker's going to come down across you. And that would really ruin your day. All right, rain is just starting to trickle down here a little bit now, so I think it's time to pack up and head back to the shop. Got to get the chainsaw sharpened. All three of them need sharpening. And I've also got to get the oil changed on the tractor. It's time for that. Got to maintain the equipment. All right, so that's going to be it for today's video, guys. We'll pick this up again on the next video and see just what it is we're going to do. Well, hopefully I'll have a better idea by then. All right, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you out on the trails the next time.